So the next prospect we're going to talk about is infielder Tommy Troy out of Stanford University. 5'10", 197 pounds. Now, do me a favor, Case, scroll down on this a little bit, right? So when you read this, right, and you look at his draft report, you look at what people are saying about him. Let's think about what this last statement says, where he was named the circuit's best prospect after slashing 310, 386, and 531. Guys, that's in the Cape Cod League. He was named the best prospect in all of the Cape, which is where all of the best players in the country go in college during the summer, right? And right here it says Troy's standout tool is his ability to make consistent, hard contact from the right side of the plate. Impressive bat-to-ball skills, and rarely strikes out or chases out of the zone. Now let's go take a look at his swing, and let's look at some of the reasons why. This is one of my favorite and probably my favorite hitter in all of the draft this year. I think that the production that you're going to get out of him at the big league level, I think we're talking multi-year all-star. I think we're talking one of the best two-hole hitters in the game, and consistent hard contact all the time with elevating balls hitting for a high OPS. Now, when you watch his swing, right, all of these things that we always talk about, you see these things show up. This is an upper body driven move. It's dynamic and easy and loose and fluid in the lower half. And then the upper body is absolutely compressing the cork with one of the shortest bat paths to the ball that you're ever going to see, okay? Let's get to landing on this first one, Case. So he's into landing, he's into the front, and the upper body's back. He's countered. Hands are in a really good position. Do me a favor, roll like 2 frames, Case. Just one more. Look at that entry point. Look at that entry point. There is zero wasted movement. That is incredibly, incredibly efficient. As soon as that body goes, those hands and that barrel are connected with it and have an incredibly short arc into the ball. Now, take a look at the pelvis. See the line on his pants? In 3 frames, his hands and his barrel are already starting to win the race and get ahead of his pelvis. Take a look at his back leg. Back leg's staying sideways. Right? He hasn't squashed a bug or turned early here. Guys, the back leg doesn't drive the pelvis or the body drives it, right? Force comes from here and works out. As his upper body is working through, it's pinning his lower half to the floor, the front side, getting past that back hip, right? That back leg is getting turned over. It's not doing the turning. And it's also sliding behind him a little bit, which we're going to talk about more in a minute. Now, let's get to impact. Let's watch that last piece. So you see how that upper body, boosh, turns into a brick wall at impact, right? There are guys that have short swings and don't hit the ball hard, and there's guys that have really long swings that hit the ball hard but can't make consistent contact. This is it. This is short, direct arc, and then tremendous compression force into the cork of the ball. His entire body is bracing into it. It's like a freight train's coming, and his body can stop against that freight train, which is why he consistently makes such hard contact. Now, you see that little move where he's bouncing into that backside right out of the front? It's a telltale sign of an incredible deceleration pattern. You're going to see that happen with guys like Guerrero Jr. and Trout and Tatis and all these elite hitters. And when you watch a lot of the best hitting prospects in the draft, you'll see different little variations of it with them too, right? Because it's a sign that they're moving incredibly well and incredibly efficient, right? So he's got space for days, direction for days, compression force for days, and I can't wait to see what happens after he gets drafted. This is a really, really cool thing to be able to talk about this. So I've actually been working with Tommy. I've known him since he was about 13, 14, and I actually have video of him and Paul Skeens doing evaluations in our lab together. So this was, I think, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I was up in NorCal and we were getting some work in. Here's the thing. Because this kid, like this is a baseball player, right? This is a kid who works religiously on his craft, has feel for what he does, knows how to replicate it, understands when it's off, knows how to get it back. As I've gone on in this game and worked with more and more big leaguers and talked with more and more big leaguers and former big leaguers and guys in the Hall of Fame, one of the things that I feel like is incredibly apparent with the best They don't know the biomechanics of it. They don't necessarily know exactly the science behind what they do. But you know what they know? They know what it feels like when it's right. They know when it's off because it doesn't feel right. But they know how to get it back faster than everyone else because they're so in tune with their swing. This kid is the same way. The kind of slumps that other people face or the type of things that they face, this kid isn't going to face the same way. He's able to get in and out of stuff because he's going to be able to work through it because he knows his moves and he knows his swing. Okay, let's go ahead and get to landing here. So you notice at landing, we got good counter. We're in the ground against the front side. Nothing's leaked or peeled. He can be against the front. We're seeing the hands in the barrel start to make a move, right? Go ahead and move the next 2 frames. Right? Look how clean and connected that is, working behind the ball. I mean, it doesn't get better than that, guys. Like, that's elite, elite, elite. And now, let's take a look at what these swings produce in games, boys and girls. Let's watch this swing right here. Oh, my God, that is an absolute tank that he hit against Texas A&M. Oh, yeah, that was in the 7th inning, and it was a 9-5 game, and that was a grand slam. This kid is clutch and he steps up when the lights turn on. And when you can move like that and swing like that, you don't get so happy in 2-0 counts that you swing and miss. You can stay under control and do the things you need to do because you know how to move, right? And when you watch that swing right there, look at that upper body just absolutely stick that ball. Get to that landing. Get to that landing. Upper body starts to turn, back legs holding, barrel gets on plane, right? We're at impact, we're past the pelvis. Look at how the rest of his body is not moving. In fact, right through impact right there, watch his hips and back foot go the other way, right through impact, right? People wonder why he's hitting balls that far. That's why. He's getting the upper body across the lower body as good as anybody, right? And the last thing I want to touch on here is just a short story about Tommy and when I first met him and did the evaluation. So you notice that when he hits, he has that scissor move, right? Back foot goes behind him. And that's something that's become more popular and known over the last couple of years. So I actually presented research on the scissor move and what we call the kickback all the way back in 2017 and started coaching it as early as 15 and 16. Because we were doing research on it, saw incredible results, saw it happen with some of the best hitters in the history of the game, from Babe Ruth all the way to Mike Trout, Miguel Cabrera, Fernando Tatis. We saw these incredible increases in force production and contact rates and all these amazing things. And the reason he came in for his evaluation is because he had all these different coaches. And this kid's 13, 14 years old. He's already a pretty darn good hitter. And all these coaches, everywhere he went, kept telling him how bad that thing was, and how it was going to ruin him, and how it was taking away his balance, and how he needed to learn how to turn his backside first in his swing and keep his feet even. Anyone watching this right now, anybody listening to this, any coaches or any players, you have to be really, really careful about the things you change and the things you say, because you may not know the things you think you know the way you know them. I've already been through that too many times to not be objective with athletes, and not to think to myself if certain things might be helping them be the athlete that they are. Had we changed that or tried to force that to change, we may not be talking about him as a top 10, top 15 overall pick in the first round of the Major League Baseball draft right now, right? So if you have a kid out there, or you're a player out there, or you're a coach out there, and you see this and you're used to changing it, please go the other direction. Go the other direction, because if there is anything, like I'm sure that there's a lot of things that we've done with Tommy over the years, but I think the most important one was helping him understand who he was, what he did naturally, and trying to impress upon him and his parents the importance of not letting other people screw those things up, right? And that could be a real major reason why he's actually here right now. So Tommy, it's been an unbelievable pleasure. I love you. You're an amazing kid. It's been an amazing journey, and I can't wait to see what happens after this week, man. You're going to have an incredibly blessed career. I feel blessed to be a part of it, and I wish you nothing but the best going forward, and good luck on Sunday, brother.